Hey everybody, Colin here. I'm coming back to you today with an opinion. I'd like to share my thoughts and try to demystify what business and people development and training is all about. It's a fact that literally millions and millions of euros, dollars, pounds, whatever currency is spent on people development and training every year throughout organizations, big and small, throughout the world. And I want to challenge this a little bit, if I may. When I do trainings, and I've done hundreds of trainings over the years, I normally get a similar picture happening. And the percentages vary, so bear with me on this. But let's say 50% of the audience are there hungry to learn and hungry to develop, and 50% are kind of there because they were told to go there, and they're kind of reluctant, don't want to feel that they need to learn, etc. You've probably seen a similar scenario yourself. And what it can come from, so if somebody says, hey Colin, I'd like you to go on a presentation skills course, the immediate reaction is, why am I not good at presentations? And not with everybody, but sometimes that transpires then into the training room itself, because people are more reluctant to be exposed to their weaknesses. They will sometimes, as I often experience, will go into the training with an attitude of, I don't want to be exposed as being at this level. I want to be pretending that I'm at a higher level, and therefore my attitude will be slightly different. You get what I mean by this. And it's incredible when you actually look at training, how quickly people unlearn. So from that sort of 100% absorption, there is a curve over the next few days that takes it right down in terms of what people actually absorb and what they use going forward. And I'll give you an example of this. There was a few years ago, there was a friend of mine went to a comedy show in downtown Bucharest, and I couldn't make it. And he went along, and the next morning he said to me, "Oh, Colin, you missed a great show. Like, this comedian was amazing. I nearly wet myself. I was laughing so much." And I said, "Wow, I'm sorry I missed it. Tell me one of his jokes." "Oh, I can't remember any of the jokes, but he was amazing." And that made me realize something, that this is why I want to demystify this, because there's a lot of trainings that happen that the organization thinks they've been successful because of the feedback form that people fill in afterwards. So if they're entertained well, they're going to give a higher mark. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't be entertaining people, and I do my best to do that, but I also want to make sure that there's some learning as well. But that's what will happen. So there's an assumption that the training was successful, when in reality, they probably didn't learn a lot. They just had a good time, a little bit like in the comedy store. There was a few years ago, I met this lady, and I was talking about a selling skills course that I do. And I started to talk about it, and she kind of interrupted me. She said, "Oh, Colin, the team went on a selling skills course about 6 months ago. I'm sorry." To which I replied, "Do you mind if I ask you a question?" She said, "Sure, sure." I said, "Because that team's been on the selling skills course 6 months ago, does that mean they're all good at selling now?" And she kind of smiled, and I smiled, and I apologized for the sort of ambush question. And she went back in her chair. She said, "Yes, Colin, I understand exactly what you mean." And from that, we actually did an assessment of the team, and actually found it was actually quite a low percentage of the team had been able to absorb the training and take it into their daily function. So we kind of tore it up and started again and got them all to a good level. I'm going to share more about this on a second video. If you want to find out more, please drop me a line or subscribe or follow, and I'll come back to you with some more information. But write to me, or maybe even come and have a coffee here at the wonderful Massia offices, and we can have a chat then. But until then, I'll be back soon with a follow-up video. Take care, everybody. Thank you.